As an accountant, I did an economic paper, and this is called the first economic law. And what it teaches is this: everything on the planet cycles. Creation, humanity, business, emotion, people, months, seasons, everything cycles. So every person you know that you right now want to write a course for or want to teach a program to has a natural cycle. They go up, they peak. They go down, they stop. They go up, they go peak. You can pretty much guarantee that that cycle will be within a 7-period issue. So 7 days, 7 months, 7 weeks, 7 years. What the economists teach you is this, and this is a great concept for all of your life, not just the course. In business, you have to have something that you can hold on the line to prevent the dip. You can't stop the dip because that is by choice. But people that are cycling, so if you want to write a course, let me use my genre, because I work with women who are at risk, predominantly, and I've written several courses for them. So the women that I work with have all suffered some type of abuse. That's a prerequisite. So for me, my course sits on the line where they will go up and they won't go down as far. So the dip will still remain, but it will become shorter and shorter and shorter. Because if your course and program does not have value, people are not going to purchase it. They're not going to purchase it. It has to increase value in their life. It has to do something for them. The second thing you need to decide is whether the program is going to be content or contact. And that is extremely important. Because if it is content, that is educational material. That is you sharing your genius in technological, educational terms. If you are writing a content-only paper, you need to realise that the people reading it are going to have an impact in some way. So you need to not share all of your genius, and you need to have really strong closure points for them, because you're not around to help them. If you're wanting to write a course that has contact, that's really different, because they've got contact to you, so you can be a little bit more deep, a little bit stronger in your language, and you can pretty much help them. I have 3 courses that I teach these women. One of them will never ever be taught without me, or somebody I teach to teach it. Do you know why? Because I unpack them, and I unpack them really honestly, and I make no excuse for it. Because normally by the time they hit that course, they have already done the other 2, they have already been with me or some of my team, and they are ready to deal with the issues and the struggle that they have gone through. So if I'm going to unpack a woman, if I'm going to help a woman actually get to that point of taking off shame and allowing responsible blame and processing stuff, she is not doing that over the internet at home on her own. So you have to really decide what the genius is you want to teach and whether it can be written or it has to be taught. Then the next thing I want you to do is give it a decent, honest, sensible name. I am so done with asking people what they do, and what they do is they help people to find how to do this, and they say nothing. You know, just be really real. People are really savvy now. People are really savvy with their money, really savvy with their education, and really savvy with what they want. You know, if I ask people what you do, and you start that pitch, the elevator doors in my head are closed, I'm not listening, because I'm done with the elevator pitch. But if you tell me you run an NGO, you're a life coach, you're something, I'm interested. And that's what your course needs to be. So if you are dealing with abuse, your course has to have the word abuse in it. Don't go sugarcoating it. One of my courses I run called It's Okay to Be You. It's exactly what I mean. It's actually okay to be you. And the first paragraph says, if you're doing this course, someone along your life has told you it's not okay to be you. Well, let me tell you, by the end of this course, you're going to be telling them that they were wrong. Just be honest. Be real. Give people something to hook onto. Because if you're in this room today and you want to write a program or a course, you have something to say. You have something to give. So make it easy for all the people that need you to find you. Just make it easy. Just help them to not have to look through all of the clutter and just find you. In the book that I wrote called The Unhappy Smile, which is the story of my life and the 9 steps I took to overcoming all of my abuse, every chapter is in plain English. Every chapter makes sense. I didn't write 950 pages so you would all think I was an incredible author. I wrote the truth and I took as long as it needed. Because people are ready for authenticity and reality. And if you are working with people that need a course in any way, shape or form, they need to learn something. So you have to educate them. When you've written the course, you have to decide whether it's good or not. And you can't decide it because you wrote it. So with every course I write, I give it to 9 people for free. I give it to 3 people that course is perfect for. I give it to 3 people it's completely unperfect for. And I give it to 3 that could be either way. Because if somebody should be able to, if you write a course, if I write a course specifically on how to teach women over 50 to financially be prepared to retire at 65, and I hand that to a 30-year-old and she gets it, I've missed my mark. Because I'm telling you now, a 30-year-old and a 55-year-old woman speak different language. Okay? So I want her to come back and say, bit irrelevant, great, because you're not the target audience. But if I'm writing a course on how to do Tinder and 5 simple steps to meet your perfect match, and I give it to my 60-year-old girlfriend who's been on her own for 20 years, and she gets it, I've missed my mark, right? If I give it to the girlfriend who's been married for 30 years and couldn't imagine being with anyone else, I've missed my mark. So when you write the course, understand that you're attached to it. It's you, and it's your beauty, and it's your genius, and then share it out. And share it out with the knowledge that they cannot preach, they cannot continue to share it, but just test the market. So many of the people that I work with have got these incredible products, these incredible businesses, and yet they do not ever test their target audience. And they've got all this beautiful natural makeup that they're trying to sell in a pot that would attract my 12-year-old granddaughter, not me, and they're willing to charge $150 a pot. She hasn't got that money, her nana has. Market it so I like it. Makes sense. People are looking. Every one of you could go home now and write a course and you would all be able to sell it. People are hungry. People are desperate for information. And if you're targeting women over 55 globally, they've gone invisible. They've gone invisible. So if you're targeting anything to do with that, you are on the money. If you are targeting millennials on how to cope with stress, believe it or not, you're on your money. I mean, everyone over 50 is going, I've never seen a millennial do anything. But they have more information and technology at their hands in 20 minutes than my great-grandfather had in his lifetime. They read more words on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat than my great-grandfather read in the New York Times every day. They're never disconnected. They don't know how to cut off. They don't know how to meditate. They don't know how to rest. But you better be speaking millennial language if you write that course. Because if you use any of the words I just used, they're not buying the course. So know your market. Understand what to do. There are 3 ways for you to write a successful program. Go home, get out your iPad, and start writing. Decide on what you want. That's the first way. Decide on what you want to teach. Understand that you've got the genius but not the knowledge, and get someone else to write it for you. Let's not reinvent the wheel. There's people that do this for a living. The third one is called a white labeled course, where somebody else, so for instance, you might want to get into a business where you are training people on how to be efficient in childcare, because you just bought a childcare centre, okay? There are courses called white labelled courses that you can pay a one-off fee for, and you can buy that course and put your name all over it. Then all of a sudden your kindy has now got this course and it's being run by you. So if you have a program, you have to know whether you absolutely have the content or whether it is something else you need to work. But always remember, it has to hit the line. It has to stop the dip. Because people only have so much understanding around courses and information. And if it's a course that's content only, which means they're going to be able to buy it from your website, and they haven't met you, it needs to be small and well priced. People are not going to pay $999 to do an 18-month course if they've never met you. They're not. And you might believe they are because other people are telling you they are, but I'm telling you they're not. They won't. Unless you are somebody who has a huge name and is being paid $10,000 to show up and speak. But if you have a $29, $49, $69, $89 course, in Australia about a $49, $59 course is a pretty cheap course for us. I've got one which is called How to Find Out If You Need a Mentor. And it's simply 3 worksheets. Why, how and when you would use one. I don't promote myself. At the end of it I don't say, now if you've answered yes to more than 5 of these questions, please contact my office. It's just simply information. If you are going to use a course to sell yourself, please call it a sales funnel and don't buy the world. But if you're going to write a course, write a course. Because can I just tell you something? You are a one-off, incredible person. You're sitting in this room right now because you've got a heart for something. Because you would not be listening to me in this room if you didn't have a heart for something. So just be you. Because you don't need 4 million people, you need your tribe. I've got a tribe of 900 women that I could call on at any time to help with any cause. Literally I could. I could contact them today. In fact, last year at WEF, I was at breakfast. And I met a lady who was from South Africa, and she was feeding 500,000 children a year. And it cost about $40 Australian to feed one child for like a month. It was some crazy figure. It was my first time in India, my first time in hearing those statistics, and I was overwhelmed. And so I went back to my room, I got on Facebook and I burst into tears. And I said, I cannot believe that for the cost of dining out, you know, my husband and I go to breakfast on a Sunday, it costs us $40 with coffee, you know what I mean? And so I talked about it, so I can't believe for one Sunday breakfast, I can feed a child for 30 days. And I said, what I can't live with is the fact that if I don't do it once, some kid goes hungry. I raised $7,000 overnight. Wow. You know why? Because it was real and I've got a tribe. You have a tribe, and if they're not following you, they will. Just get your genius out, make it real, make it honest, scale it up, give them a quick taste of you. You know, I'm tired of going to things where people say, this is a free event. Come and hear how to make a carpet. It's a free event. It's free till midday, and then it's going to cost me an hour and a half sales pitch listening to that guy. And I'm going to get hounded by his guys leaving. It's all rubbish. It really is. I'm sorry, but it just is. If you're going to do something for free, do it for free. If you're not, just charge. Just charge and be honest. You've got genius, you've got something I want, just charge me. And upscale it. Have a bunch of courses. But at the end of it, always have a course they can get to you with. Because that's where you'll change their lives. That's where you can do the most power. That's where you can train others to take the genius you hold and do it. But be very succinct about what you do in content and what you do in contact, because they are very different things. If I'm going to teach you how to love your children, I can do that in content. If I'm going to teach you not to repeat the cycle of being an abused child because you were, that's contact. And they're very different. And if you know them, you can help the world and you can do whatever you want. Do you have any questions? Yeah.
So, I wanted to ask you about, like, you mentioned that it's a short and affordable courses. So typically, like, suppose it's a longish thing, but you want to break it up into maybe a level 1 or 2 or something. How much do you believe, like, do you need to plan your long-term plan for, like, a long-term vision before you start putting out the courses? Because otherwise you might like to be too much in the first round. What do you think?
Yeah, it is really hard. The team I'm travelling with, you've met the Aussies, right? They're a bunch of very cool people, and we kind of joke. They all laugh at me because I'm kind of the geek of the group. I'm the girl that likes to pull away and study and, write courses, and the rest of them are partying hard. When you are writing a course, you need to decide what you want it to say and how long it needs to be. But this is the thing. Nobody buys the $100 shoes if they haven't bought the $10 sandals. Okay? Nobody buys I can sell a $400 handbag to somebody, but I'm going to first sell them the $14.99 satchel, then I'm going to sell them the $99.99 wallet, then I'm going to sell them the handbag. Because by the time they bought the satchel, worked out at decent quality, they're going to buy the wallet. By the time they bought the wallet, they're looking at the handbag. And that's just the truth. Sorry girls, it's the only way I know how to talk. But that's the truth. That's the truth. And in reality, a lot of us are startups. A lot of us are new to the game, right? I wrote a book 2 years ago, nobody knew me. I've been travelling for 18 months around the world teaching on the book. Now I can sell things that I couldn't have sold before because nobody knew me. A lot of people are still the best kept secret. And if you're the best kept secret, you have to offer something that makes people think, you know what, I'm keen. If any one of you had a course for $49, I would happily buy it just to give you some advice on it. Because that's not a lot of money in Australia. But I'm not going to buy you a $1,999 course until I really know you've got something to teach me. So you have to break it down. You do. Any other questions? No? I've got to go.